happening?
Welcome to our channel.
Welcome.
And today we've got a very, very interesting and exciting topic to cover.
I'm so excited.
Same.
Let's
because we're good at this.
Yeah.
So this is our video.
I would like to think we're good at this.
We are good at this. I
That's
know
decent.
we're good at this.
Oh, okay.
So
That
this is how to save.
How to save money.
How to save money, because everybody, well, I assume most people want to save money for something.
Indeed.
So if you have a goal to buy a car, to get a house, to
get married,
or
if you're expecting a child or anything.
How to save money efficiently and effectively and quickly as well.
Yeah. So
let's go.
So we'll give you 11 tips on how to save money effectively
and quickly.
Yeah. So tip number 1.
Have more than one stream of financial income.
And how can you have more than one stream of financial income?
Okay, example. If you have your job, your normal job, say for example you are a nurse, for example, you're a nurse and you work as a nurse full time or maybe even part time. And say, for example, you have a different talent. You're good at taking pictures, you're good at doing hair, you're good at doing nails, you're good at, giving people massages. So you can charge people to do all of those other things outside of your regular job. Yeah. So that's another stream of financial income. And that just basically maximizes what you're earning, because you're not just relying on your 9-to-5 job. You're doing something outside of those hours and you're also making money from it. And sometimes it's not taxable. It's not taxable.
It really does work, because even for myself as well, a lot of people don't know this, because I've literally thrived in the media sector. However, I am actually an electrical technician. And right now I work as a fire and security technician. However, I still do I have of course been thriving in the media aspect. But of course, if it is that perhaps maybe you don't have another skill set or something else that you can immediately think of, another effective way could be trying to increase your income where it is that you work. So that could of course involve having maybe your boss or your employers to reassess your current income. If it is that that's not possible, then of course you can maybe look for another job within the same sector, but this job of course pays you more.
It's also work in order to get a new job or promotion with
an increase or pay increase.
So you can go to your boss and ask him, I work hard and you know what, I think I deserve an increase on my pay.
Indeed. So, you just know your worth. You know what I mean? If it is that you're being underpaid and it's making it difficult for you to actually put money aside, then in that case, by all means, go ahead and try to see if that's if that's for you. Then.
So, say for example you're not working full time, you can then make it full time, or you can add, you can do overtime in your work hours. Tip number 2. Go for the cheaper option.
Go for the cheaper option. And I'll tell you this now before she speaks, okay? Susan is the cheaper option champion. Like, I don't know how she does it, but with me, I tell you what, I'm a man. So sometimes when I see things, boom, I just want to buy it. I just want to get it. I don't have time to look around in the store and things like that. But with Susan, jeez.
You have to shop around. You have to shop around. And if you are trying to save money, then the best way to do it is to shop around and to also go for the cheaper option. By that I mean, say for example, I don't know, you might live alone, or you might be at uni and you have to buy food, you have to buy clothes, you have to do things on your own. So there's always a brand. There's always cheaper brands, and there's always the posh brand.
The posh brand or the well-known brand doesn't always mean good quality or better quality.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes the posh brand or the well-known brand is exactly the same as the lesser-known brand.
Indeed.
But it has a higher price tag on it. So just think to yourself, okay, if this is gonna taste the same, if this is gonna give me the same result, go for the cheaper one. Clothes. What I noticed as well, I recently did a bit of shopping. I'm an online shopper, so I can't bother to be going into the stores. So I like to look online and just order it into click and collect at the store. And when I got my order, I realised that I wanted to return some things. But anyways, I looked at the price tag on the actual items that I got. The price tag was higher than what I paid for it online.
As for guys as well, I know most guys here don't want to look fly, they want to look this, want to spend £500 on the trainers and £200 on your jeans. Honestly, in as much as that makes you feel good at that precise time, it's not needed. I remember this pair of trainers that I wanted to buy. I went into store and they had the trainers. However, when they brought the trainers out, the box, of course, that they put the trainers in was absolutely torn into pieces. And I was like, that's so unpresentable. Like, I mean, it's a bad presentation. Like, I'm not going to take that. Go to the back and find me another one. Went to the back and they literally brought me another one without a top cover. It was even worse than the previous one. And I saw the guys there in JD Sports that were absolutely just having a laugh. And I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this. I'm just going to go. I went online and I actually found the same trainers online £20 cheaper.
Yeah.
One could say, oh no, £20 is not a lot of money. Sure it is. And however, I found it cheaper online.
And also, lastly, with the cheaper option, transport. Of course, it's nice. It's nice to get to work or to wherever you're going really quickly. By the tube, by train, the fastest mode of transport, even by car. But if you think about it, if it's gonna save you more money getting on the bus or even walking, why don't you walk or why don't you get the bus?
Definitely.
If your journey to work will take you half an hour by
Got another one.
train or tube, and it might take you maybe 45 minutes by bus, it's not much difference. So just get the bus.
And I think as well, a lot of people don't know how much money they're losing with this whole Uber stuff and like cabs and mini cabs. Like literally, if you're like, they're going like 2-3 miles and they get an Uber and cabs. Like seriously, no.
You can save that £2-3, and if you add it up every week, if you're spending about £3 on an Uber in a month,
I don't even think it's £3. I've never got an Uber before.
Never, well,
like,
no,
I've
but
never got it.
that I've had to pay for. I haven't got an Uber. I've had to pay for.
Yeah, I've never got Uber. I don't even know how it works. Like, because of course I'm a driver, so at the end of the day, I know it's probably within, like, I don't know, maybe like £5 or £7-8.
Depends on where you're
but that's still a lot of money
distance,
if you're taking that every single time.
Yeah.
Like, no, cut that off.
Cut that off. Do not be fooled by sales and offers.
Do not be. If you don't need it, then ignore the sale. Do you know what I mean? When they say, buy one, get one free, you don't need the second one. You really don't need it.
There was someone I knew that they didn't even need the thing, but because it's on offer, because it's on sale, they'll just get it thinking next time or later on I might need it and I'll just have it in my cupboard ready. And they'll never need it because it's not something that you regularly buy.
It says, well, sometimes you buy things and then you go home and you realise, I don't need this.
Yeah,
why should I buy it?
a lot of females do it with clothes.
Yeah,
so they buy clothes knowing that it's on sale and whatever, but you never wear it.
Never.
Or you never wear those shoes, or you never wear the bag, and it's just a waste of money. So regardless of whether it's a sale, if you really don't need it, don't bother.
Don't buy it.
Number 4.
Number 4. That's 8. 4. Let's do this. Come on.
Number 4. Okay, this might sound hard to believe, but have a savings account.
Have a savings account. Your current account
is not a savings
is
account.
not considered a savings account.
By that I mean I remember I was speaking to someone one time and they were like, oh yeah, how do I save? Like, how do I save better? And how do I, make sure that my savings still stay as my savings? And I was like, well, of course, every month when you get paid, just put away some and like make sure you just transfer it to your savings account. They were like, oh, I don't even have a savings account. And I was like,
really?
So how do you expect to save? Like,
where are you going to put it? Pick a bank.
Under your mattress.
No way. With the savings account, go to the bank and find out what best deals you can actually get.
Yeah.
There are different types of savings accounts.
You've got ISA accounts. You can even set targets. So, for example, you've got accounts where you can't touch the money until you reach a certain target of savings, and then you are allowed to touch the money. So those accounts are quite good. I think those are ISAs. Also, interest rates. So if you want, you can shop around for the best interest rates. I know the interest rates nowadays aren't really great, to be honest.
Yeah.
But you never know when.
You really never know, exactly.
Yeah. So just have a savings account that is separate from your current account. And don't have a card to your savings account.
That's a good one.
That can be helpful because if you have a card, then you're more likely to go to an ATM.
So tip number 5 is to know what type of saver you are.
There are different types of savers.
And I say this all the time. As for me, I'm a type of saver that if the money is right in front of me, or I have an option or a choice or a chance to spend the money, chances are I will pinch that money. Maybe not all of it, but I will pinch out some of it.
I think you're the kind of saver that you can't see the money.
I can't see the money.
You can't see
I don't have a problem saving. I don't have a problem putting my money into the savings account, but if I see it, I become more tempted to spend it. However, you are the type of saver.
I'm a serious
She's the type of, I wouldn't say serious saver. I mean, you are good at saving, but because I save that, that doesn't mean
you're a non-serious saver.
But anyways, the point is, alright, with her, like, the money can be right under her nose like this, and she won't spend a single penny of that money.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter where the money is. It can be in a piggy bank, it could be in an actual bank account, it could be in my wallet.
So
if I know it's for my savings, I will not touch that money. So I am very, very strict on the way I save.
You're more disciplined.
Yeah, I'm more disciplined on the way I save. Yeah. So know what kind of saver you are.
And there is another one as well. People who do end up saving money,
they can save for a long period of time.
Be it have access to it and not be able to spend it, like perhaps maybe be it like yourself, or but then it got to get to a point whereby they save up a substantial amount and end up spending all of it.
So basically, they're those people that they can save for a period of time, but it gets to a period of time, or it gets to a certain amount where they spend.
Yeah.
So they're not like.
Or they're going for a period where they spend.
Yeah. So like they can save and then they'll end up spending all of it.
Unnecessary, but you know, not for a specific goal. Yeah. They just end up spending it for no need.
So of course, if you recognize what kind of saver you are, so if
it's always good.
Yeah. So if you're like the saver I am, where you can save and you don't mind, seeing the money, then carry on saving. If you're the kind of saver where you can't see the money, then try and I don't know how you can work around that one. If you have someone you trust.
I remember being younger, I used to give my money to my mum. I know I was young, but then she was the only one that I can trust. I mean, come on, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Or my older sister. But of course, in our relationship, it came to a point I was like, you know what, you're the type that can see the money there, so I started, wiring my money to yourself in, the savings account, the joint savings account that we have, which I did not at that time, of course, have any access to directly. Yeah. So which of course did, work out, and it's always best to figure out what type of saver you are before you start saving.
Exactly.
Because it just, it keeps you organised throughout the entire process.
So try and recognise what kind of saver you are, and of course try and if you know that you have a weakness with it, like try and change that.
And number 6, you need to have a goal.
So what are you saving for?
What are you saving? When we started saving together, what were our goals?
The wedding and the house.
So to get married, for us to get married, and of course to buy a house.
You have a goal. So if your goal is to buy a car, you're saving for a car, then of course work towards that. If you're saving for a house, work towards that. If you're saving to get married, work towards that. If you've got a baby on the way,
exactly. It also gives you that incentive and also that inspiration and that push to keep on going. If and when you go through rough patches. And that's the goal. In as much as something else might try to, come along the path or whatever, you just know that's the goal.
That is your goal, and you're gonna keep saving until you reach that goal.
Until you achieve the goal. Number 7, you need to set targets for yourself.
Set targets.
And it's different from having a goal. Reason why being is because setting targets could be, okay, you know what? This month, I've put in X amount. The following month, I want to top that up by £100, £200. That could be, a target. Or it could be, by this month, I want to be on X amount of money.
Yeah.
Even though I know I'm getting this, I need to be on X amount.
The thing about setting targets, don't just go for a simple target that you can
exactly.
make like that.
Push it.
Don't say, every month I want to save £50.
Yeah. You need to have an effective target.
Yeah, like make sure
push yourself.
Make sure it's like it has to be achievable. You can't say every month I want to save 10 grand. Like,
exactly.
If you don't have the means to save 10 grand every month, then it's not gonna happen. But don't go for like the lowest of lowest that you can save. Push yourself to say, okay, you know what? Let me try and save the most I can, and try and challenge yourself, like you said, to top up what you're doing. So if you're setting a target every month, then try and push every month to save a bit more. This is a very interesting.
Pay attention, okay?
Okay.
Pay attention, guys, alright?
So before we say this one, we need your full attention.
Stop what you're doing and just pay attention to this point.
Tip number 8.
Hit them, baby. Go on.
Keep your savings to yourself. That means don't tell your friend or your cousin or your Aunt Gina or even Mum.
Aunt Gina?
Mum, guess what? I've got 10 grand in my savings account.
I'm not saying don't support them. You go ahead and support your family. Go ahead and support those who you can support. However, you don't expose these things or let them know this. Why? Because they then put you in the arrangements or their plans.
It's like, my son, he's got 15 grand in his account, he can always bail me out when there's an issue.
Exactly.
And of course, if you know there's a family emergency or maybe a friend is in desperate need, and they're a good, trustworthy friend, and of course help them out. But I wouldn't advise you going ahead and telling everyone how much you've got in your savings account and just being boastful, because that can come around and bite you in the bum.
I have a friend who had a decent savings account, and at that point he told his sister, and when he told his older sister, she then essentially started being so reckless with her money. Because she knows my brother will bail me out.
Yeah.
And every single time, you know, she would always ask him until he's pretty much flat down to nothing.
Exactly. So try and keep your savings to yourself. And to be honest, you can always keep your savings to yourself, because even if your family member or someone needs help, you can go ahead and help them, but it doesn't mean you disclose with them how much you've got saved or even how much you earn as a salary. You can say, okay, I can help you with this amount, and that's that. But you don't need to be going around saying, oh, I've got this X amount in my savings, I earned X amount, because like I said, it's gonna come around and bite you in there. So tip number 9 is
limit your liabilities.
And by that, liabilities, we mean
if your job does not require driving to work, and perhaps the times that you drive, you don't really need to drive. Your job
is probably half an hour to 45 minutes away by public transport.
There's no point having a car. Not because your friends all have cars. And,
so let me go ahead and get a car.
Exactly, not because you can afford it means, you know, it's worth it. You need to know the difference between affordability and worth. If it isn't, you know, worth it and you can afford it, there's no point of getting it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so a car is in some senses a liability if it is that you don't need it or you can do without it.
Exactly.
Of course, for example, if you live quite far, or I don't know, maybe it takes you 2 hours to get to work or an hour to get to work, then of course drive into work if you know that public transport is going to be more expensive than driving your car. Or for example, that phone, the latest iPhone 7 or 8 or whatever iPhone you're on.
You don't need
an iPhone 10.
You don't need an upgrade.
Because the camera is slightly shiny, or I don't know.
Like, you know what I mean?
If you can get by with an iPhone 7, 8, I don't even know what number we're on, but if you can get by with an older version,
you can tell we don't really care for this.
I can't. I don't.
Really
if you can get by with an older version, like stick with the older version. Like why are you paying $35.99 for a monthly contract? Why do you have unlimited minutes when you don't even use half of that?
And I'll tell you what, the funny thing about it is, why do you have unlimited minutes if you have broadband at home
and use WhatsApp?
You don't even talk to people. Like,
cater your mobile phone contract to what you use. Don't pay for unnecessary things that come with
once again, it's, you know, the difference between affordability and worth. Just because you can't afford it doesn't mean
it's worth your money.
One more thing as well, loads of people have like gym membership.
Oh yes.
And how many times do you actually go to the gym? I know it feels good to tell your friends, you know what, yes, I have a gym membership. Or what gym? I'll meet you in the gym. I know it feels good. However, if you don't go to the gym and you actually do not work out, there's no point of actually having that membership and having that direct debit coming out every single month.
And a lot of people say, oh, my gym membership is just $14.99 or it's just £20. It's not that much, but think about it. £20 is coming out of your account every single month. You've been to the gym in an entire month twice. Is that worth it?
There's nothing.
You're
not burning off no fat in that period of time.
You might as well run around your local park and you've done the same workout that you would do in the gym. Bear in mind, you've been on your phone all throughout that gym session.
Exactly.
Texting and taking pictures. Posing.
Or flipping through the playlist. Just there, just dancing.
Exactly. So just run around your park, or maybe spend home, just do like 100 sit-ups in your bedroom. That's your gym workout. Or just cut down on the bad foods you eat.
Indeed.
It's the same thing.
The junk just cut it
down. You get the same result, seriously.
Exactly.
Tip number 10. Cut out unnecessary spending.
There are loads
outings,
of unnecessary spending.
Holidays, and luxuries.
Just cut it out.
Cut it.
Tell you what, alright, treat yourself. By all means, treat yourself. However, a lot of people tend to, fancy. I mean, it's not a bad thing to fancy the high life. However, just because you can afford the high life at that time, and it makes you feel good going on this expensive holiday, it makes you feel good on, treating yourself to this expensive restaurant and things like that. That, doesn't always mean that you should go ahead and do it, because when and if that feeling is done and your money is all finished, you go back to to reality. I mean, it's always better for you to actually work your way there, build this life of luxury. So you're not living a moment of luxury. So now, but you're living a life of luxury.
Yeah.
And as you've broken it down, it goes down to holidays, goes down to the clothes that you buy, the expensive designer clothes that you buy, just everything.
Just like
all of
eating out all the time. I know you could possibly cook. Like you can spend £10 buying shopping to cook a meal that will last you.
You definitely can cook. I mean, fair enough, it might not specifically taste like that restaurant's food or whatever, but you don't always need to buy Chinese. Like,
you don't always need to buy McDonald's or KFC. You sometimes cook, or sometimes just cook.
Just cook. As far as unnecessary spending can go, we can also throw this in there as well, which is like buying expensive lunch at work.
Yes, that is the one.
Just take packed lunches.
Take a packed lunch. If you cook dinner, you can use the leftovers from your dinner as your lunch the next day.
Indeed.
And you can like there could even be more leftover, and you can use it for your dinner the following day.
And the funny thing is, you find it more satisfying at work.
Yeah, like rather than going to prep and spending like £5-6 on a sandwich, on 2 slices of bread together and a drink and crisps.
Literally.
And that bread, they got it for 69p in Asda.
I'm telling you.
And you're spending £5.99 on it. So don't bother. Literally, do not bother. Tip number 11.
Okay, I don't have enough fingers for that. So
tip number 11 is look for deals.
Look for deals.
Now, what we mean by that is,
once more, this is the deal champion.
Deal champion.
Hey.
Deal champion.
Trust me.
Basically, what we mean by deals is, for example, fair enough, you think to yourself, I really want to go out. Like, I deserve a night out.
Yeah.
I deserve a treat. I deserve a nice meal. Look for the deal.
Yeah.
We've got Groupon nowadays, we've got Voucher, we've got other little discount codes that you can use. Look for it. If it is that...
It doesn't mean you're cheap. It really doesn't mean you're cheap, because the funny thing is you actually get the same experience.
You get the same experience, you get the same thing for less price. Yeah.
You get the same experience.
And sometimes it's even better than what you pay. Like, for example, there's like really nice restaurants in central London, like really posh places, and you get like a 3-course meal, and you spend like £34 for 2 people.
Indeed.
And then you go to Honest Burgers, or what is that, Byron Burgers, or a burger place, and you're spending like £40 on 2 people when you should have just looked on Groupon, and you get a better quality of a meal.
So
look for deals, and that will save you money.
Yep.
So those are our 11 ways to save money.
11 tips to save money.
11 tips to save money. I know that's
10, but
yeah. And to be honest, if you follow it, if you really follow it, and if you're really strict on yourself, like for a good year, like remember what we were saying, it took us about...
When we were
saving for our house and wedding.
Yeah, so okay, bear this in mind, we were saving for a house and a wedding. And we had...
less than, I would say, combined together. We had no more than a year of work.
No more than a year of work.
No more than a year of work.
To actually save up for a house and also the wedding.
Yes.
And of course, it's not just only the house and the wedding. It is also
having
money as well in the bank to sustain this house. Because if you buy a house, that's your property.
And
it's your responsibility.
And you need furniture. Pretty much straight away. You can't live in your house and not have a cooker.
Indeed.
You can't live in your house and not have beds or fridge where you're going to put your food.
Exactly.
So you have to have money even after you've bought the house and after you've had your wedding.
And it's not just only the house process as well, because we're going to cover vlogs later on. To do with the house and stuff as well. So you then get to know that there are other hidden fees as well, or other fees that people don't also talk about as well when and if you're getting a house or buying a house. So there are, trust me, it does work.
Yes.
These tips actually do
work. It works for us, and we know for a fact it can definitely work for you.
Exactly.
Just do it right and follow it properly, and you'll see a massive difference. If you start, like we're right at the beginning of the year 2017, do this for 1 year and see how much you saved by December 2017. Exactly. Guaranteed.
So guys, we're losing daylight.
Yes. And it's my birthday.
It's her birthday, so we've got to treat Susan today.
Yes.
And got something planned. Anyways,
thank you so much for watching.
Thank you so much for watching, guys.
If you found this video helpful, then of course you can like, comment, and of course share the video.
Go ahead and share it. You never know once more who this can actually relate to.
And don't forget to subscribe.
One more thing, if it is that we've covered, you know, a point within this video that relates to yourself, or maybe not entirely too clear about, go ahead and message us, and we'll definitely respond to yourself, okay?
Alright, thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, bye-bye, peace.